Hi, educators. My name is Anna, and I am one of the co-founders for Educators First. And I hope that you all start to get to know me and my co-founder and co-host, Mallory. So let's get started. I wanted to really put out there and kind of talk about what's been going on. You know, we're all in this midst of having a huge meeting tomorrow night where so much ends up being on the line for everybody. And we have no control, yet it's consuming many of us. It's consuming every decision going forward in terms of what happens as we enter into the school year. And honestly, what a crappy way to enter into the school year. So what I wanted to do is I wanted to jump on and give you some tips to deal with going into the meeting tomorrow and just being part of it and being part of these discussions. So one thing I think that's really important is that when we tend to think about an outcome, we start thinking about the negative outcome. So if we're thinking about the meeting tomorrow night and what we want the outcome to be, we usually think, well, I don't really want it to be this, right? We don't think what we want in the positive, right? We're not using what we put out to come back. So when we're always thinking about what we don't want, we're in the negative. And so when you're thinking about the meeting tomorrow and when you're starting to feel stressed and your stomach's bothering, you're anxious, I'm sure some of you are crying and laughing and swearing, you know, as parents and educators and as administrators, like, yeah. You guys are all rock stars. You really are. So back to this. When we are putting it out there, I want you to think about not necessarily what you want the outcome to be, but what you want the feeling to be, what you want your the feeling of the room to be, for individuals to feel heard, to feel understood. You have a feeling of confidence. So that, because you know we can't predict outcomes, but we can predict how everything goes and how smoothly it goes. And so I challenge you, when you start thinking about masking and all these decisions and all of a sudden your mind starts going in all these negative directions and right? That you step back, take a deep breath, and really try to reframe that in terms of what you want the outcome to be. What is best for the students? Everyone is on so many different sides. We all know that. But we have to come together as a community. And I know each and every one of you know that who's watching. But if we're doing it, hopefully it'll help other people too, because it really will actually. So the other thing I want you to do, so that's challenging you, and you can do this in any part of your life, to put out there what you want, focusing really on the feelings, like I said. The other one is when you're in the meeting or you're in any sort of stressful conversation, going into, whether you know you're going into it or you kind of realize at the end, you can still use the same technique, which is like a dome or a bubble. And what it is that you're imagining like this clear structure, so a bubble or a dome, around you. It can be flexible, it can be hard, but what happens is that everybody else's energy and their attitudes and all of that is on the outside. You just get to choose what's on the inside. Ideally, you're only choosing you. So when you're sitting there in the meeting and you're one of the administrators or one of the teachers and you're really having to kind of sit there and bite your tongue and not really, chime in, and you feel yourself getting revved up, well, ideally, if you start visualizing this, you're really detaching yourself and creating space so that all of that negativity is on the outside. And this is also a way to, as I said, detach. So a lot of this feels like it's very individualized. As school board members and as teachers, every one of you, it must feel very individualized, like it's personal, because it is personal, but it's really not in the end, right? It's about masks. We're just the ones in between. So utilizing that globe, that bubble, is the best. And using it like things bounce off of it, right? That's great to use in many situations. I think, and the last thing is just honestly remembering to breathe, remembering that when we are kind of getting revved up in all the emotions, that we realize the school year is still going to happen, that it is what it is, and we need to really take a deep breath and focus on the little bit that we can control, which is not letting the negativeness of the community, of everybody else get to us, and really focus on what's important. So, like I said, I challenge you in all aspects of your life to really switch your thinking and really trying to think of any outcomes that there could be. And trying to get that perspective and work on that dome, that visualization. Also great when you're going to work, everything like that. I have to do it all the time as a therapist. But I hope some of this helped tonight. I'm thinking about you all. I am looking forward to an awesome school year. Varsity soccer just started, so that was pretty exciting. So yeah. Hang in there and try those techniques, and hey, pop on later on and let me know if they work tomorrow, and hopefully they do. Okay, bye.